What's going on, guys? Welcome to VOA's Red Carpet. My name is Jackson Funganyi. I want to thank you for joining us today on the show. As always, right here on Red Carpet, we bring you the latest in entertainment news, in sports, in film and television from around the world. And we begin with the US Open winner Naomi Osaka. The 22-year-old beat Victoria Azarenka for the championship in a quiet arena as COVID-19 health and safety protocols prevented fans from entering the New York Tennis Center.
Osaka used the venue to show her support for the Black Lives Matter movement by wearing masks with the names of different Black American victims of police brutality or racial injustice before every match. Osaka, who has a Japanese mother and a Haitian father, is receiving praise from the Japanese community, including from 16-year-old Japanese high school student Mary Maeda.
I'm very happy that Naomi, who is an influential person, spoke up about Black Lives Matter publicly. I'm happy that her message was received not only in the United States, but also around the world, including Japan.
And Osaka's strident views on social media have made her an icon for many young Japanese, such as Masateru Tanimoto in Tokyo.
Including myself, I think there are many people who are not interested in a topic like racism. But as with this interview, Naomi Osaka has created an opportunity to open the topic. Although people may agree or disagree, I think it's a good thing that the issue becomes a topic of discussion.
And to top it all off, she celebrated her heritage by posting a photo on Instagram wearing an orange dress and colorful head wrap while holding her silver trophy, writing, "You already know I had to bring out the head wrap for this one."
And in football, Paris Saint-Germain forward Neymar says that they were racist slurs in an ugly ending to the French champions' 1-0 defeat by Olympique Marseille. Now, the match was littered with fouls throughout and fighting in the last minute of stoppage that saw PSG's Neymar, Lewin Kazawa and Leandro Paredes sent off along with Marseille's Dario Benedetto and Jordan Amavi. Neymar, who struck Spaniard Alvaro Gonzalez in the back of the head, tweeted after the match that his only regret was not hitting the Marseille defender in the face. Gonzalez tweeted that there was no place for racism in sport, prompting Neymar to fire back that he should take responsibility for what he said. In a statement, PSG urged the French league's governing body to investigate and say that it strongly supports Neymar Jr., who reported being subject to racist abuse by an opposing player. Now, protests against racial injustice in the United States have some Americans reconsidering their racist pasts. VOA's Karina has the story of tattoo artists helping to make the changes.
Vermont tattoo parlor owner Alexander Lawrence is accustomed to getting requests from clients to cover up racist tattoos. But after the death of George Floyd and the protests that followed in much of the U.S., he says the number of such requests has skyrocketed.
All these people are like, oh man, I have this old tattoo that I'm not like that anymore, and I don't want people to think that I am, but here I am. You know, today's a different day and age than it was when I was growing up, and I'm not hateful, but this tattoo makes me look like I am. So now people are becoming more aware.
28-year-old Dylan is one of his clients. When he was younger, he had a large swastika tattoo. Now he regrets it, so recently he had it covered up by a large skull. Dickie Markham also wanted to leave his Nazi tattoo in the past. He confessed that for a number of years he held racist beliefs, but after his son was born, he realized he has changed. But it was the recent protests in the U.S. that became the last straw for him.
When I was down there, I saw people walking around with their shirts off with writing on their body instead of having, holding signs. They were using their own body as a way to really project their point. and I couldn't do that.
In the last couple of months, a lot of tattoo parlors in the US started offering such services, quite a few of them for free. Tattoo artists say it's their contribution into fighting racism as well as ignorance.
A lot of people who are getting like the Confederate flags cut didn't get them for any kind of outwardly racist reason. It was just, part of their Southern heritage, being growing up here and everything.
Some get so emotionally affected by the experience, they share it on social networks.
I still have shame for ever getting it. I still have shame for the people I've hurt in the past with my words.
Tattoo parlors encourage people to continue eradicating racism, and on top of providing such services as tattoo cover-ups for free, they also try and motivate to make donations to foundations whose goal is to fight racial hatred. Karina for VOA News, Washington.
New York Fashion Week is underway, but certainly looking different this year due to the coronavirus pandemic. A combination of virtual and in-person shows with limited capacity. Organizers and designers are having to adjust to the new format. Outdoor events are also taking place as designer Jason Wu opened the week with a runway show on a Manhattan rooftop. But there is one designer we are keeping an eye out this year for, Claude Kameni of La Vie by CK, who is the first African-American designer to be sponsored by the New York Fashion Week, IMG. Raised in Cameroon and based in Los Angeles, Claude's creativity and passion for fashion has led her to style names like Tracy Ellis Ross, Janet Jackson, and many others. And from the looks on the fashion label's Instagram, patterns and bright colors are what she's all about. Now, the art of traditional storytelling has found an unlikely ally during the COVID-19 pandemic. Because of lockdown, the Play Africa Children's Museum in South Africa has put its African storytelling project online, broadening the audience to children around the world. Marista Clark has the story from Johannesburg.
Professional storyteller Tembili Tsuma has taken traditional African storytelling onto cyberspace. He was supposed to entertain youngsters on location at the Play Africa Children's Museum in Johannesburg, but the pandemic lockdown changed all that. Now Tsuma is performing online through a camera and computer screen.
Now I am more than 3,000 people following me on my page, of which it's actually the same thing that's also happening to other storytellers and to the Play Africa page.
In Soweto, internet-savvy mum Pamela Selohani holds viewing sessions in a local bookshop.
Some kids don't have the opportunity to actually watch even on their phones. They don't have access. So I'm like, why can't I let other kids watch with me? It was from an excitement of discovering this, and I just wanted to make it go viral.
It was a steep learning curve for the storytellers, the Children's Museum and its partner organization, Asitesh SA, to master the technology and adapt techniques and props to bring interactive African storytelling to Facebook Live. But their efforts have transmitted African story magic far beyond South Africa, despite the COVID-19 lockdown.
They're missing the humanness of being together, and so that ancient art form is now putting a human and a human together again via some zippy technology. We started seeing people from Kenya and elsewhere in Africa connecting. We often see in Europe, in the UK, families logging on. We've had families from Australia.
Despite clear benefits, online African storytelling must be dealt with carefully going forward, say some.
It may also exclude many people that may not have access to a digital space. That's why I said there needs to be care. At the same time, it's also quite important for our stories to be told widely.
Play Africa Children's Museum and Asitesh SA are working on developing complementary educational content and considering ways for wider use of the stories. Marisa de Klerk for VOA News, Johannesburg.
And in music news, Billboard is launching 2 new music charts that are sure to be more inclusive when it comes to the most popular hits around the world. Songs that make it to either of the 2 charts, called Billboard Global 200 and Billboard Global excluding US, are determined from worldwide streams and download sales. Now, it's been 30 years since the debut of the hit sitcom The Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, starring none other than Will Smith. Well, now the cast is getting together for the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air reunion special to air on HBO Max. In honor of the big anniversary, Smith posted a photo of the cast on Instagram, minus James Avery, who played Uncle Phil on the show. Avery passed away in 2013 due to open heart surgery complications. Will Smith wrote, "So we're doing something for you all. A real Banks family reunion is coming soon to HBO Max. RIP James, hashtag Fresh Prince 30th. The streaming service is describing the special as a funny and heartfelt night full of music, dancing, and special surprise guests in honor of the series that ran for 6 seasons and 148 episodes. And how cool is this? The famous mansion featured in the show will be available for visitors for just 5 nights via the vacation rental company Airbnb. Posing in front of the mansion with co-star Jay-Z, Jeff Smith posted on Instagram, "Yo, y'all think we should rent out the Fresh Prince house? We are making it happen with a squad at Airbnb." Speechless, that is how actress Halle Berry is feeling after landing a nearly $20 million deal with streaming giant Netflix for her new film, Bruised, centered on a failed MMA fighter who attempts to reclaim herself as both an athlete and mother. The Oscar winner not only stars in the film but also makes her directorial debut. Expressing her excitement about the deal, which includes worldwide distribution rights, she tweeted, "I'm speechless. Thank you at Netflix for believing in my vision. I can't wait for you all to finally see hashtag Bruised the movie." Currently being screened at the Toronto International Film Festival, we are also excited to check this one out when it comes on Netflix.
But I also challenged myself and everyone around me to think of new ways to shoot something, new ways to shoot fighting. So I was determined never to show anybody punching a boxing bag, or not to show roping, like to show sort of new facets to training, and especially martial arts training. It's very different than English boxing, and I wanted to try to bring as many of those different elements to these training sequences as I possibly could. And I also wanted the real community, the UFC, the MMA community, Bellator, Invicta. I wanted all those fighters in those leagues to, hopefully see this movie and really see themselves in it, and and have them find that it was an accurate depiction of their world.
And with that, we come to the end of our show today. My name is Jackson Vunganyi. I want to thank you for hanging out with me. Remember, for more entertainment news, to check us out at voanews.com. We are also on social media, on Instagram, on Facebook, and on YouTube. Until next time, stay safe, stay healthy. Goodbye, everyone.